yeah. I was lost, but now I know who I am. I'm the Hebrew son. I wandered through the shadows, looking for the light. Taught to hate my own reflection, caught in lies so tight. But the book opened up and I saw my name. The truth came rushing like a holy flame. I'm not a slave, I'm a son of a king. Judah runs in my blood, I was born to sing. The covenant lives in the breath I breathe. Yes, hand pulled me out, now I believe. Oh, I am the Hebrew son, from the tribe where the lion comes from. You tried to strip my name, but I overcome. The Most High called me by his drum. I am the Hebrew son. My soul remembers where I come from. A chosen light under your sun. No weapon formed can make me run. They told me I was nothing, just another name. But my father wrote my story before I ever came. They hid my crown, tried to blind my eyes, but the Ruach whispered you were born to rise. Do not rise. Zion is calling, dry bones are walking. I hear the shofar sound in the night. The sun is rising, a new day dawning. We walk in power, dressed in light. I am the Hebrew son, no more hiding, I won't run. Yeah, has written my song, and to his arms I belong. Call me by my name, I am not the same. I'm the Hebrew son, the battle's already won. I was laced from a white stone, and in the stone a new name.
Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. All right, so we're going to talk about Donald Trump after taking out the Ayatollah Khomeini. He thought he could start screaming ceasefire. But here's the problem. Back in 2025, when Iran was fighting Israel, Donald Trump stepped in, and it was only because they were getting their behinds handed to them by Iran. He stepped in and called for a ceasefire. But here's the problem. When Donald Trump did that, the very next day, he bombed Iran. All right. And then he did the same thing in 2026. He wanted a ceasefire, and very next day, he went there and bombed them again. So now they said they can't trust Donald Trump. They can't trust him. So why should they accept a ceasefire and get bombed anyway? So Donald Trump is not a man of his word. It's very obvious and very clear. So they're like, oh no, we're going to continue this fight. And that's exactly what they have done. They have been bombing the countries all around them that have any type of US presence in the country, they get bombed. And Iran told those countries, I believe it was Dubai, Saudi Arabia, some of the other countries around, he told them, Bahrain, um, I'll stop bombing you if you prove you're not siding with the US. So that's what they put out there. But those military bases are around in other countries that are nearby. So they are still bombing. And I still say the US is lying about the casualties, y'all. There's no way with all that heavy shelling Iran is doing, it's only 6 people. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think it's far worse. This media is known for lying or withholding info. They are known for that. And you are never going to get the truth from US media at all. They are notorious liars. So now you got a situation where Iran refuses to stop bombing, and the US and Israel are both running out of ammo. So they got to make some tough decisions. And Donald Trump, he feels the solution is ground troops. Iran just said in a statement recently they are prepared for ground troops. They are prepared. They've been preparing for that for a long time in their country. So they said, bring it. Come on in their country and see what happens. They said they've been preparing for many years for any type of ground attack in their country. And you know what? I believe them. I believe them. I believe they are a hell of a lot more prepared than the United States for any type of ground conflict. I really do. I don't believe the US is as prepared as they claim. So, y'all, oh yeah, the Barron thing is still going strong. Isaac George, you're right. That is still going strong online. Send Aaron, hashtag send Barron. That's going strong. People are still bringing him up every time Donald Trump talk about ground troops. And this thing is turning into a disaster. It is not turning out the way Israel and the US thought it would. It's not turning out well for them at all. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So you're going to hear in this interview, this is the foreign minister of Iran, and he's going to explain why they did not accept Donald Trump's ceasefire. And they said, and they will not ask for a ceasefire either. Please give, okay, I see your ones. Thank you. I see it.
For a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the US when we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the US from us. No, we are waiting for them.
You are waiting for the US military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
No ceasefire. Those are the words coming from the Iranian foreign minister. He said they're not looking for a ceasefire. Iran already have a new leader for the regime that the United States, it's so-called trying to cripple or so-called destroyed. They already have a new leader. You dig what I'm saying? Now, according to Pete Hegseth said there would be nothing but death and destruction from the skies over Iran, and there's nothing they could do about it, and the war won't be over until the United States decide it's over. You dig what I'm saying? The Iranian foreign minister also said it's no secret that Iran is being assisted by China and they also have agreements with Russia, okay, to assist them with things they need. You would imagine that means military weaponry. Now, based on what Pete X had said about death and destruction from the skies, it's not a secret that Russia makes some of the most accurate surface-to-air missiles on Earth. It's not a secret. Russia, they make some of the most accurate surface-to-air missiles in the world. I don't know about China. They probably have some other shit too. But those are the two superpowers that are assisting Iran in this war. You get what I'm saying? Now, if Iranian foreign minister said, look, we're not looking for a ceasefire, okay, what it means is that this war will be prolonged. No matter what Pete X said, tells people on Pogue national TV. It doesn't matter. And what I'm also getting from the Iranian foreign minister is that they will decide when the war is over, not the United States. Okay? That's it. So we'll see how this play out. I saw it coming that it's going to be a very, very long haul. Now, this brings up another point. Boots on the ground. Whole different ball game. The day I see United States military with boots on the ground in Iran, it's over with. 20 more years, guaranteed. You'll see. Peace.
Iran is hoping that we cannot sustain this, which is a really bad miscalculation for the IRGC in Iran. You see, there's no shortage of American will here. We remember and honor our fallen, those 6 that we will soon welcome at Dover, who gave everything for their country in this mission. We remember them. But we remember them by rededicating ourselves even more fervently to this mission. Our commitment to our mission objectives only increases as our advantages continue to increase. We've got no shortage of munitions. Our stockpiles of defensive and offensive weapons allow us to sustain this campaign as long as we need to. Again, our munition status only increases as our advantage increases. Our capabilities, we have only just begun to fight and fight decisively. Having a chance to hear from Admiral Cooper. If you think you've seen something, just wait. The amount of combat power that's still flowing, that's still coming, that we'll be able to project over Iran is a multiples of what it currently is right now when you add up our capabilities and those of the Israeli Defense Forces. And we have no shortage of authorities. The Admiral knows we have clear objectives with maximum authorities on the battlefield. The dumb, politically correct wars of the past were the opposite of what we're doing here. They had vague objectives with restrictive, minimalist rules of engagement. No more. Our authorities, his authorities, CENTCOM's authorities through the president and myself are maxed out. Our capabilities are overwhelming and gathering still, as are those of our Israeli partners. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad, which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control.
Iranian foreign minister says they're not asking for a ceasefire. So it looks like to me, America's in for the long haul on this one.
Right now, you're saying Iran does not want a ceasefire.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the US. When we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us. And there is no request for the negotiation with the U.S. From us. We have never sent any messages to them.
Donald Trump is panicking as Iran has rejected his ceasefire offer. Donald Trump apparently only prepared for a 4 to 5 day war against Iran, and he assumed that if the United States were to kill the Ayatollah, Ayatollah Khamenei, that Iran would immediately want a ceasefire and that Donald Trump would be able to declare a victory and that war would not spread throughout the region. Donald Trump was warned that his personal views that that's what would take place were wrong, and he was indeed wrong. Hat tip to Ynet. They were the first to report, and they're based out of Israel, that Donald Trump is now begging Iran for a ceasefire, and Iran immediately rejected it and said when there will not be a ceasefire will be on our terms. And now one of the major issues the United States is facing is, will we be running out of munitions? Do we have the capabilities for a long-term war if this drags out for many, many months? And in addition, we've learned some horrific news this morning that a number of our soldiers, a number of U.S. service members, have indeed been killed in action during the war already. We've learned that there have been, so far, 3 U.S. service members killed in action. 5 have been seriously wounded so far during Operation Epic Fury, is what the Trump regime is calling it. We're referring to it at the Midas Touch Network as Operation Epstein Fury, or the Jeffrey Epstein War. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, announced the deaths of these 3 U.S. service members. 5 are seriously wounded. We're following that. We're expecting, sadly, the number of deaths to increase. These casualties, as Open Source Intelligence Defender also notes, these casualties are likely the result of Iranian ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones that have been striking U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, with some bases suffering much more serious damage than had been previously reported or announced by CENTCOM. Indeed, our government is giving false information, saying that the attacks have not been serious against our bases, only for us to learn later that they are indeed very, very serious. And now our service members have been killed, and Donald Trump has blood on his hands, and this whole regime in the United States has blood on their hands. Iranian's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, he is alive, and he's stating this morning on state-run television that the Interim Leadership Council is now operational and has assumed constitutional control of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Pezeshkian adds that we will continue the path of the leader with strength. Our armed forces are crushing the bases of enemies. No sign by Iran that they will be stopping their retaliatory actions against U.S. bases and U.S. interests within.
We have some major breaking news. The Iran foreign minister now says that there is no ceasefire agreement between them and Israel, and that Donald Trump is lying. Just minutes ago, the Iran foreign minister posted this on Twitter, saying, as Iran has repeatedly made clear, Israel launched a war on Iran, not the other way around. As of now, there is no agreement on any ceasefire or cessation of military operations. However, provided that the Israeli regime stops its illegal aggression against the Iranian people no later than 4 a.m. Tehran time, which is actually past that now, we have no intention to continue our response afterwards. The final decision on the cessation of our military operations will be made later. Now, Donald Trump and many media outlets have reported that there is a ceasefire agreement, that all sides have agreed, but Iran is now saying that there is none, that no agreement has been made. This story just got very, very weird. I have no idea why Iran is saying this. I mean, it just seems like there's so many extensive reports on the ceasefire agreement being real and true and agreed upon, but I'll keep you in the loop on any major updates here. I'm going to go break this down on my YouTube, my Spotify show, and my Substack, link in bio, but just very strange.
Listen, the foreign minister of Iran got on the news today, and he said that they do not want a ceasefire. Whatever y'all been hearing is lies. They haven't been talking to Donald Trump or no American officials. Whatever y'all heard is complete lies. And if the United States want to put ground troops on the ground in Iran, they are prepared for them, and they've been waiting for this for a long time, and they got something for them. Listen, man. Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are putting a lot of young American soldiers' lives at risk for the benefit of another fucking country, man. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. The way the foreign minister of Iran was talking, it sounded like he got a China man and a Russian man in his back pocket. and he gonna rub them like genies, and they gonna supply them with everything they need. So whatever all this shit we've been hearing on the news, how Iran is about to run out of missiles and they sinking all the ships and they don't have no artillery and none of that, lies, because you just heard out the horse's mouth of what they fucking think, man. That dude say, we don't want to talk about nothing. Last time we was at the negotiation table, y'all motherfuckers struck us. So we got something for y'all. And if any other country wanna aid y'all or whatever, they can get it too. Man, these folks are putting our people, man, in harm's way. And the people who gonna have to pay for this brutal, long-ass war is the United States citizens. We're gonna have to front this fucking big-ass fucking bill. We got to front a United States, Israel, and a motherfucking Iran war. We already paying for a goddamn Ukraine and a Russia fucking war. You're already at the fucking border fighting all this shit over here. You got Cuba and Venezuela and all this shit here. That's why I'm telling y'all, man, get ready, because we're going into a World War III, folks. Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump coming up there lying to you every day, man. You better stack up on your shit, folks. You're in the early stage. You still got time to go get your supplies and everything that you need, because one of these countries, man, gonna try to get some get back, and you don't want to get caught with your pants down. That's all I can motherfucking say. Hey, man, keep your head on the swivel. You're gonna have more worse days than better days. Y'all stay up out there. Get it out the mud.
Breaking news. According to Israeli journalist Nahum Barnea, President Trump has tried to get a ceasefire with Iran through an Italian envoy. Iran has rejected the ceasefire outright. It is 9:35 p.m., March 1st, 2026. Follow me for more updates.
We have breaking news as the Iranian foreign minister just said on NBC News that they are not actively seeking a ceasefire with the United States. The reason that they are not currently seeking a ceasefire with the United States is because the last two times that they attempted to negotiate with the United States, being in the middle of last year and then just within the last week or two, as they were in the middle of negotiations on a possible Iranian nuclear deal after President Trump had terminated the previous nuclear deal that was in place. Both times, President Trump and the United States ordered strikes in Iran. So at this point in time, the foreign ministry of Iran is not seeking a ceasefire with the United States and to resume these negotiations, because they know what's going to happen again. Anytime they start to make a little bit of progress or they stall a little bit, the United States may just turn around and just start bombing Iran again. So at this point in time, the foreign minister is not going to be seeking a ceasefire from the United States for the war that is going on in Iran. I'll keep you guys posted as we continue to learn more.
All right, y'all. So to me, that's a clear indicator that nothing is going to end anytime soon. And Donald Trump is going to find, because he keeps getting on the news talking about this will be over in 4 or 5 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks, this thing is still going to be going strong, y'all. Don't believe the hype. And it's going to be worse if he sends in ground troops. I think, I do agree. If ground troops go in, it's going to prolong it for years at that point. It's not going to be over by the end of, a month or few months. Donald Trump is full of crap. I don't believe nothing that man says. Nothing. And he had no business getting the U.S. into a war that Israel had their beef with Iran, and Israel should have been fighting on their own. But no, Donald Trump had to get the U.S. involved, and now here we are, So, y'all, this is it. I will keep my eye on this. Tomorrow, I will be doing a current event, and True Royal and LVZ will be joining me. So that will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I hope you can all be there. I'm sure it will be interesting, and we'll be covering a lot of topics about the war and Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and all the stuff that's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, wherever you are. And I will see you all tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom.